it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Papermaze. And this month I've been working with the Simple Vintage Life in Bloom collection from Simple Stories, and I think it's probably my new favourite Simple Stories collection. It's really beautiful, lots of lovely pattern papers and colours. The embellishments are just to die for. It's really, really beautiful, and it took me a long time actually to brave cutting into it because I was so scared of ruining it all. But once I got going and I'd made that first cut, it all kind of fell into place, and then I was a bit happier using it. So I'm pleased to say that I've made a few layouts with it now. For this layout, I've got a circular photo that I'm going to have central on my background, and it's of my little boy and my mother-in-law, I think at the end of last summer, so I think it was last September. And it was just a day out at our local little model village. And I wanted to have lots of different patterned papers on this layout because, like I said, they are all so beautiful, and it's really hard to decide which one you want to feature on a page. So I like to use lots. So I think I've used 3 different ones here. Well, that gorgeous floral pattern, and then a lovely turquoisey one, and a kind of minty green one with flowers on. And I was trying to avoid pinks in my pattern papers because my mother-in-law is wearing a pink top, so I'm going to add some pink mixed media to my background. So I wanted to keep the pink for that. So I've gone for blue tones and greens with my pattern papers, with just sort of a hint of floral just to match her top nicely. And I've added a couple of layers of foam behind my photo just to raise it up and bring in some dimension to the page. And I've cut those pattern papers in kind of like shards or starburst sections, like elongated triangles, and I've arranged them behind my photo going diagonally. And I knew I wanted my title to be this beautiful piece, and it sits really nicely on that circular photo. Really love how that looks. And then I've pulled out some floral die cuts. There's loads of florals in this collection. Obviously the title kind of gives it away a bit. But there's a floral die cut pack. There's some die cuts of florals in the bits and pieces. There's the sticker book. There are chipboard florals. So there are loads to use. So I've used a few here, and I'm having them fill in the gaps where I've got those pattern papers going diagonally one way. Going diagonally the other way, I had some open space, and I've filled that space with those florals. And here I am adding my mixed media now. So I'm using a Distress Oxide in the shade Picked Raspberry. And as you can see, it's a gorgeous bright pink, which matches the colour of my mother-in-law's top really nicely. And then I've got those bright pink florals as well that I'm using. So lots of pink on the page. There was a time when I would never use pink on a boy page. I only ever scrap photos of my little boy, so there was no pink, there was no florals. But I found that it's limited what I could use so much, and collections like this I would find so beautiful and really want, but then not buy them because they weren't very boyish. And it got to the stage after a couple of years of scrapbooking where I just had to get over that because it was too limiting and I was missing out on all the beautiful collections. So now I embrace the florals and the pinks on a boy page, and it doesn't bother me at all. And my mother-in-law's in the photo, so you know there's a girl there, so I've got a girl and some pink, and her top's pink, so it all matches lovely. But yeah, I've just got over that now. It was one of those things that's holding me back a little bit. So I'm pleased I've let go of that, and it's enabled me to use beautiful collections like this. So the mixed media I added with just a kitchen sponge with the scouring side. So I've added the ink to some packaging, watered it down, and then I've just dabbed that sponge in it and then patted it on my background along the area that I wanted. And you might have seen I drew a faint pencil line around those patterned papers on my photo, so I knew roughly the area where to add my mixed media, which is quite helpful. And then you can always rub that paper line out if it's showing. But I try and draw it so that it's under everything on my page as opposed to around the edge, so if it's just tucked under, then once you've got everything back on, that line should be hidden. Doesn't always work like that, and I do end up moving things sometimes, but it's easily rubbed out. So I've got that all in place now. I've added some foam behind everything to raise it up off my background. Now I'm just going to add a few bits of embellishments. So I've got that lovely chipboard title in, I've stuck that down with glossy accents, I've got my floral die cuts, and now I want to add some butterflies. So I'm using that gorgeous pattern paper that is just full of butterflies. I think this is my second sheet I'm onto now with this, and I think I fussy cut a whole sheet one evening in front of the telly, and I think I might have to finish this sheet off as well. But I'm just trying to pick out some butterflies that I A, like the shape of, and B, the colours that kind of match. So I didn't want anything too pink, so I want something like blue up that top right there, because I haven't really got any blue up there. And then down the bottom I've gone for a kind of pink and yellow one, just to help balance it out a bit. So I'm going to have these butterflies kind of flying through the layout from bottom up to the top, kind of facing different angles. And I only ever stick the centre part of the butterflies down, so their bodies, and then leave the wings free. So if I ever want to put the layout on display or in a box frame or anything, it gives it lovely dimension. Obviously in an album it will get flattened out, but there's no adhesive there, so it can easily be sprung back up. Just want to add a few little bits now. I don't want to go too mad, so I'm adding some stickers from the combo stickers sheet, and this comes in the collection pack, so if you buy the pack with all the papers in it, you get this as well, or it is available separately. So I've added a couple of those, one to the top left and one to the bottom right, and I've gone for pink just because there's pink in the photo and I want a little bit more pink over those blue pattern papers. And then I'm just trying to find some little bits now. I've pulled out, I think there's a camera die cut that I've popped over onto the right hand side. I've got a little tab underneath my title that says memories, so it makes my title beautiful memories. I love mixing and matching bits and pieces to make titles, kind of extend them. So you've got that life is beautiful, and then you've got memories underneath. You can use stickers for that, you can use different stickers. There's loads of stickers in the sticker book you could use, or die cuts. It's just a nice way to kind of mix and match fonts and colours and styles to make longer titles. And over on the left of my photo I've added a couple of like ticket stubs, a little a kind of like a banner or another ticket piece behind that. Stapled those together as well, just for a bit of added texture on the page. And then I felt like I wanted to have something darker around the outside of my page, but I didn't want to do a full-on kind of like frame or border. So I've simply sliced out a piece of the edge of the paper. I haven't come in too far, just a little bit, and then I've kind of done it on a curve and used my distressing tool to distress that edge. And then I've backed it with that black floral pattern paper that you can see there, and it just adds a little something to the edge, and I just feel like that darker edge just finishes it off nicely. And then that's my layout finished. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this layout and the process, and it gives you some inspiration. This collection really is beautiful, and I know there is some of it left at Papermaze, so do head on over to the website and have a look. I'll pop a link to the collection down below for you just to make life easier. But thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time.